So life changes pretty quick.
Yeah, it does.
And it's important to kind of stay on top of what's going on, right? So last year we had, last year or this year, I don't know, it's a combined type year. We
Kinda
had
all runs
all
together.
types of things that went on, right? So maybe we have a photo that we'll show off here and see what we can show you, and we'll discuss it. And then we'll tell you some more things about how life kind of changes a little quickly. So let's see what we can do, Omkar, to show that real quick. And maybe we'll pull that up here in just a moment. We'll work through that and get this up over here. Thank you, Sir Omkar. And that'll be just a minute, and we'll pull that picture up. But anyways, while we're doing that, we'll just go through and have a quick discussion kind of about what we're trying to talk through. So with life changing quickly, we had all types of things like COVID.
Yeah.
Right? We had things where we could see people, or we couldn't see people, or it became like super virtual. Then we're like, some people were, we have an election and that changes things. Financial policy changed and loans got like super cheap. We thought there's no way that loans can stay this cheap.
Right.
Then we had prices of lumber spike, and lumber went up like crazy, and the price went like way up on lumber, and that happened too.
Yeah.
So there's all these different things that go on super quick with life, and everything changes.
Yeah.
And lumber, talk about that for a little bit, Shauna, and how that affected real estate on your side. You saw that in Idaho, right?
Yes, so there's obviously such a demand for new homes and so much building going on that they can't keep up with the lumber, getting the wood, and, the prices have just skyrocketed out of control.
Yeah, and that just totally changed what was going on with new construction.
And it's driving the prices up. They're skyrocketing. And, it makes affordability for homes, difficult.
And so we finally did get this picture pulled up. So this photograph
Is that
here...
you're contributing to the wood shortage?
No, what this is showing is that life does change fast. And this is something that I never kind of thought that, I would be saying, and it's really weird. I took this picture, and it was a little bit unique to me. So what it was is I got the tractor stuck down by the lake.
Yep.
And so I was working down there, and I take that picture, and that's just totally like, what the heck? How did that happen? So number one, I kind of knew I was encroaching, getting a little close, and it was like one of those things. It was fine. So I had to bring
This isn't the first time.
No,
I would get nervous seeing him down there when we had all the trees and
all the brush. So we worked through that, and we get that done. And then life changed even quicker, because the way that I got it out was I went over and got Shauna's Jeep, and I hooked the winch up to it and put it in park, and put the emergency brake on and extend the winch out. My good buddy Dave's there, and he hooks that up, and we winch the tractor back out.
No, this is not a midlife crisis. This is just evolving, right?
Yeah,
We have a Jeep now.
I didn't think it was a crisis until you said it.
Out. We're not farmers, but
somebody said ranchers.
Said ranchers, yeah, ranchers. And I think real ranchers would laugh because we have a few acres, but they'd probably like, really. But for us, it is a huge change, and we're doing things that are completely different than we've done in the past. So.
And with this change, so this is where the change is. So COVID brought us a bunch of different things. And we saw migration patterns changing. We saw people moving to areas that were a little bit further away. And I saw a shift. So this is a key part. So maybe we'll go back to the talking head real quick, and then we'll discuss just this here. And so here's the point with life changing quick. What I believe has happened is the shift with real estate is people moving one space, just a little bit more a little bit more space. So if they were in an apartment, they're wanting like a townhome, so they have a little bit more space. If they're in a condo, they want a house, right? If they're in a traditional urban center, they want a suburb. If they're in the suburb, they want a little bit more rural. If they're rural, they want like a ton of space, and they want something super different and tons and like really remote. So it seems that's the shift with life. And it seems like that's what's going on with real estate. And I think that's important to kind of understand and comprehend here is people are wanting just a little bit different with each of these changes. And as it's going on, that's important for you as an agent to identify and to be able to capitalize on with them, with your clients, right? And understand and listen. And those things are happening because COVID, because you can home office, because I don't have to commute. You know, we were talking about that, and like some of these offices have like a dozen people in them in the physical office that used to have, you know,
Yes.
1,000, 2,000 people that were in there every day.
It'll be interesting to see how commercial real estate changes. Right?
Yeah,
and what happens there. It's you know, it's unfortunate. There's a lot of businesses that are having to close. But what I've heard, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're closing their business, which unfortunately some have, but they're just doing it differently. They're changing. They're doing it from home or, you know, not necessarily having a storefront.
So the shift is going to be to much more online, to a ton of deliveries. You were saying the other day how much you really like online shopping, getting it delivered.
I do love, there's something about going to the grocery store and going to do certain things, but I don't like to go and shop for hours. You know, I go and I like it for a little bit and then I get tired of it. So I've really evolved into ordering online and I like it.
So each of these business models are modifying, and the things that they're pushing towards is definitely more online. So we're working hard there for you on doing a lot of things that you'll be seeing, and that those should be starting to become very evident to you. And then the video aspect as well, to be able to see over distance, to become much more comfortable with video, to be able to engage and discuss things with your clients in a setting just like this. And interactive is going to be even more important going forward. Not just for like the next couple of months, but
it's changed.
It's pretty much a paradigm shift.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Even when things opened up for a little while, people really weren't like, oh, let's get together and meet. They're like, nah, I'm cool. I kind of like where I'm at now. And so it was a huge, huge shift.
Yeah.
It really was. And what was the other
different.
thing about Europe, right? We heard something about the singers and events and...
Oh, so we went out Friday night and there was a band there that we started talking to.
At an outdoor venue, we saw a band.
It was it was our first like outdoor real venue like that. But we went out, talked to this band, and they were traveling all over. They were a Texas band, but they were going all over to Europe and, you know, different parts of the world, and they were down 200 shows. They were down 200 shows versus the year prior. So that's 200 events that they, you know, I mean, that's a huge cut.
And looking forward, they said there's a big change in Europe. I tried to set you up, and what it is
I don't remember.
in Europe, they closed down and they are having no events for all of 2021 already been announced. So Europe has went ahead and it's for the whole 2021. And the next time that they have any event scheduled is for January 1st, 2022. So just put that one in the back of the mind there as Pfizer announces that they are 90% effective on a vaccine. Just came out today after the election. It's a little weird. All of a sudden, like now,
But, you know, it is time. We are in November. We've got 2 months left of this year. It's time to start thinking about all of this that's happened and all of the changes of this year that have happened. And it's really happened fast. You know, a year goes by super fast. But you have to start planning for next year. And how have all these impacted you, and how are you going to take it and now, you know, put it into your business plan for next year?
It seems that life kind of rewards the people that act promptly and swiftly.
And it's hard. None of us really just like, oh, I love change all the time. No, we don't. As you know, humans, we don't really tend to like that. But
Adapting is kind of the key. And finding the next best thing is going to be important. So maybe a thumbs up if you're all into change and you love change. I kind of do. I think that each time that something changes, I feel that we win. I think we are able to adapt just a little bit quicker, to be a little bit more nimble, to think just a little bit longer and harder than the others, and to put in that effort.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the point there. All right. So that brings us to the conclusion of the topic.